Okay, this is a review for the test. It's going to be tomorrow, and I'm going to do number 24, okay? Number 24. Eden rode his bicycle 3/5 mile from his house, so that's 3/5. Okay, so you have 3/5 miles from his house to the library. Then he rode 1/5 mile from the library to the school. So that'll be 1/5. May not be able to see that 3 right there. And it says, how far did he ride his bike in all? Okay, since you don't have to find a common denominator, you simply add your numerators, which is the 3 and the 1, and the answer for in all, the total he rode was 4/5. Now here's another problem that you may see similar to be on your test tomorrow, looking at astronauts right here. There's going to be lots of word problems, so listen carefully. Astronauts Mickey and Wade boarded their spacecraft 4.5 hours, so 4.5 hours, 4.5, hope you can see that. Looks like I can't hardly read that one. Okay, so let's do 4.5 hours. So I'm going to make it a little thinner so you can see it better. So we have 4.5. Now you can see that. 4.5 hours before lunch. They ate 1 1/3 hours after lunch. No, 2 1/3 hours. 2 1/3 hours after lunch. How many hours passed between boarding time and lunchtime? So that tells us we're going to have to subtract these numbers. So first of all, we have to find our common denominator. We know it's 6. So remember I taught you in class, what multiplies times 3 to get 6? 2. So do the same top and bottom. So the top number will be 2. What multiplies by 2 to get 6? 3. Same top and bottom is 3. Now we're ready to subtract. 2 from 3 is 1, 6. Subtract 2 from 4 is 2. 2 and 1, 6. Here's another one that may be like your test. A scuba diver was at depth of minus 24 feet. So you have minus 24. I'm going to write it right here. Continue reading. With respect to sea level, she dove down 12 more feet. So plus, and you have a negative 12. So she's going either further down 12 more feet to look at the coral reef. Then she swam up plus 9 to take a photo of the school fish before swimming up, plus 6 to join her friends. So first of all, make sure you go in order. It says what was the diver's depth with respect to sea level when she joined her friends. So we're going to first go in order. So those two negatives add together, 4, and that'd be 6. That's negative 36. Now since we're going up, so we're going to add a 9, add a positive. Remember, different signs. You're actually using the operation of subtraction. So now 9 from 16 is 7. So you borrowed 1, so that'll be a negative 27. Then you're going to add 6, so different signs subtract. So you're actually going to subtract that from the negative, leaving it negative 21. And that's our answer for number 25 is negative 21 feet. You'll also be working with problems that may have a table here, like looking at number 4 in this work here. It says the net profit for 4 months for Calculus Company, whatever that is shown on the table. So you see the table is here. So it says the net profit. That means the total profit. And it's saying what was the net profit for the 4 months. So this is January, February, March, and April. So when you're talking about net, you simply add all these numbers. So if you don't have the handout, you may not be able to see the numbers, but that's 34,500, 15,600. Then you have to take away 5,800 and 20,000. So you're looking at integers again. So we're adding the first two numbers, which is 34,500. So 34,500, we're going to add 15,600. Okay, I'm running into the numbers. But when I add that, I'm going to put the answer over here. 0, 0, 5 and 6 is 11. Carry your 1. That's 9. Carry your 1, 10. 3, 4, 5. Looks like that's 50,100. Okay? So I'm going to erase this. Now I'm going to subtract, because it says here 5,800. You're going to have to subtract because it's a loss in March. So I'm going to subtract 5,800. So now I have 0, 0. This is 3. This will be 4, and this is 4. 44,300. Now there's another loss in April, and that's a loss of 20,000. So let me erase this line here. So I'm going to subtract another 20,000 as a loss. So this is minus 20,000. So that gives us 24,300 is the net profit. That 24,300. Now, how would you write something as a decimal? If you have a fraction like 2 over 11, and you want to write that as a decimal, you simply divide the bottom number into the top, making 11 divided into the 2, and add zeros. Now, 11 will go into 20 one time, so that would be 11. So you had to borrow, so that's 9. Bring down the 0, 90. So this would be 8. So then you'd have, this would be 88. Now you subtract 20, and 11 will go into 20. 11 will go into 20, and that would be one time, and that would be 11. 20 minus 11, and this is 9. And then bring down your 0. So then you're going to have 8 again. So you would look as your answer, and if you kept going, it would keep repeating. 0.18, 18. So that would be the answer of changing this fraction to a decimal. And another thing we reviewed was about a rational number. Rational numbers, but not an integer. If you have a rational number, a number that's rational, but then you have a choice between that and you want to know the difference between that and it's not an integer. Rational numbers are like the fractions. So if you had a choice on the integer, on the test, would you say that 24 over 6, is that an integer? Yes, it is, because you can reduce that to 4. So that's an integer. So if you're looking for a rational number in your choices, what if you have negative 20 over 2? Is that an integer? Yes, because integers are positive and negative, so you can reduce that to a negative 10, right? So what if you had 14 over 4? Can you reduce that to an even number, to an integer? No, you can't. So this is a rational number that is not an integer. Okay, here's something that you may see on the test. Negative 27 minus, you have a negative 5, minus 12. So first of all, remember what I said. When you have two negatives, you can change. Let me see, can I change the color? Here we go. You can change these two pluses, right? So the two negatives together make positive. But when you're adding different signs, this is a negative, it's a positive, then you actually subtract the problem. So 5 from 7 is 2, and that will give you a negative 22 minus 12. Okay, that's still two negatives, negative 22 minus 12. So we can add those together to give you a negative. 2 and 2 is 4. Negative 34 would be your answer. So continue working on your review sheet. If you have any further questions from the review sheet, please post it on Edmodo and I will answer it. So if you took notes on this and you wrote it down, bring it to me and I'll give you extra points on your test.